turn the power off on your SNES. Okay, make sure a controller is plugged into the number 1 port on the Super NES system. This product is not designed for use with the Super NES mouse, Super NES Super Scope, or Super NES multi-adapters. Shoot. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Just reading a manual, having a day, an afternoon, an early afternoon. It's noon. It's an early afternoon Pacific time. Reading a manual for a game I'm told is called Mortal Kombat 3. It's by someone who's named Williams. So thank you to presumably Serena Williams and family for making this game. I've never heard of it before, but I'm told that in the near future, at about midnight tonight Pacific time, the world will be visited by a new Mortal Kombat product and service to purchase. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection from Digital Eclipse. Good folks at Digital Eclipse. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is coming out tomorrow. I'm going to drop all the pretenses. This has been the Spindrift bit of the week, where I pretended to read the manual. I love this. The Spindrift bit of the week, brought to you by Spindrift. Officially. It's not official. They haven't reached out. Anyway, I don't know. That was my bit. Congrats. One of these days I'll get like a soundboard, and it's just going to be wall-to-wall applause. I'm excited. I'm excited about that. There's not a lot to be excited about these days, but I will say the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection from Digital Eclipse is something I'm very excited about. Those folks are amazing at what they do, and I am so excited to have a chance to jump into what they've done, whatever it is that they've done with Mortal Kombat, because I know that the folks there care so deeply about it, and I believe they got a lot of access to the creators, to the code, to all sorts of different things. So I'm stoked about it. And I am awful at Mortal Kombat. I cannot do any of the fatalities properly. I'm terrible at it, so I'm going to become really good at it. And then that is going to be my second career when I become a professional Mortal Kombat on Game Boy player. Let's say that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, it's one of those days. I will jump into the manuals because we have a bunch of manuals. Flashback 64 is here. It is good to see you. Who knows who'll be here this week? I don't have a guest. Last week I was visited by. It sounds like it was a Christmas carol. Last week I was visited by 3 ghosts of Halo Past. I was visited by Lorraine, excuse me, my Smidrift. My Spindrift is getting stuck in my throat. By Lorraine McLeese, who joined me to hang out, and I am still so grateful, Lorraine. I don't know if you're watching, but I am so grateful to Lorraine for coming. The video is up as a video on demand over on YouTube. It's a little channel we like to use. We don't actually like to use it. It's a terrible website, but the video's on there, and it's a good video. And I'm just so grateful. Lorraine came in and told so many cool stories about Halo, working at Bungie, working with Microsoft, all the amazing stuff. So please do go take a look at it. It is very cool, and I am just grateful for it, and would love to keep going on those. But this week is not one of those weeks. This week, you're stuck with just me. But luckily, that negative reality will be levied a bit by the fact that I'm going to be talking about Mortal Kombat, which is pretty cool. So before I jump into the Mortal Kombat manuals that we'll read today, we're going to read Mortal Kombat 1 on the Sega Genesis. We're going to read Mortal Kombat Mythologies, Sub-Zero, on, I believe, the N64 version. And then we're also going to read Mortal Kombat... I have to go look and see what it is. I always forget the name of it. Mortal Kombat Special Forces. That's the one. Mortal Kombat Special Forces for the PlayStation. Before we do that, I just want to note, I have a little thing right here. Money is tight for folks. The economy. The government is shut down. We don't have a functioning government or series of or safety net in any capacity. And so what I would love to say is just, if you are capable, if you're watching and if you are capable, there's a lot of hungry people right now, and a lot of people who are going to be even hungrier. So if you are able to donate to either your local food bank, so there's two different kind of pillars to this. There's the World Central Kitchen. Jamaica obviously has gotten hit brutally by the hurricane over there, and I don't know the extent of the damage, but I do know that the World Central Kitchen, who also has been doing critical work feeding people in Gaza, they are also down in Jamaica helping people down there. They will accept donations, cash donations, and most companies will probably will maybe match that. My company does, Riot does. So I donated and then requested a match. The folks in Jamaica are going to really need it, and the World Central Kitchen is a great organization all around. So please do go to wck.org to donate to them. There's also here in the States I'm hoping short-lived pause of SNAP benefits for folks who need the assistance from the government. The government, the Trump White House. Let's be very clear about who this is. Trump and his folks are essentially blocking the ability for SNAP benefits to make it out to people. They are starving people and they are hurting people, and that is going to put an incredible amount of pressure on food banks. Food banks do incredible work. Food banks are a lifeline for so many people, and without the added, without having SNAP benefits, food banks have to pick up all the slack. And so, if you are able to, please find your local food bank or find a food bank. You can go to feedingamerica.org, find your local food bank down there, and please try to find a food bank to donate to directly. I donated to the Contra Costa Solano County Food Bank because that's where I live. But they're everywhere. You can just type in your zip code and you'll find the nearest one. But they can do quite a bit with even a little bit of money. So if you can do it, please do it. People are hurting. We're having fun here on the show, but these are pretty serious times. So if you can, please try to find a way to donate a little bit. Anyway, that's that. Let's hope that we can get to a better place soon with all of this. But for our purposes today on the show, I want to celebrate the launch of. I don't know how to do. See, this is I'm not a professional. I don't know how to do a good transition. So please bear with me. I am so excited about the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and in excitement and in celebration of it. This is obviously not an official partnership. This is no Spindrift. This is not the Digital Eclipse partnership of the week. It is the Spindrift unofficial partnership of the week. Partnerships. But I'm just excited. So as a fan, I'm excited about the launch. It is out at midnight Pacific time. And I just thought, you know what? Let's read some Mortal Kombat manuals. I don't actually know. I've never really looked at them. But there is a lot going on, and I presume a lot going on in some of the offshoot manuals. But let's go ahead and jump into what I think you're all most excited about. A little news clip about the first game we're going to be reading about. Here we go. It's important stuff, so I'm going to turn the music off.
Christmas stocking. Video games have become a $4 billion a year business, and a great many children, as you parents know, have put them on their Christmas lists. As ABC's Bill Greenwood reports, there is a growing concern on Capitol Hill that parents who buy some of those games may not realize just how much violence they're getting.
Now, I know this is well-worn ground. We all know this, but I do want to watch this for 2 minutes because there are some good moments throughout this thing. So let's watch the news.
One of the most vicious games is called Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
The objective is to finish off your opponent violently.
That's right.
Another method is decapitation. Critics, including the National PTA, say such video games contribute to violence in real life.
This Mortal Kombat, when I first saw it in the arcade, scared the living hell out of me. So, we can swear on this episode because it's about Mortal Kombat. It scared the shit out of me.
And television's Captain Kangaroo says parents are not paying enough attention.
Understand that these are not harmless toys, that they can indeed cause great emotional and other damage to a child.
Congress will be asked to establish a rating
honestly
system
fair.
to protect children from gruesome games.
We now require
Boo.
warning labels on toys that can potentially damage children's bodies. Why not do so on a toy that can damage their minds?
Barry Rhodes bought the game anyway, since it takes a special code to activate the violent scenes, which he says are a part of life.
Hold on.
It's there, so I'm not going to try to hide my daughter from that.
Even
I love the idea that the fatalities in Mortal Kombat are just a part of life. This is like sure, you're not going to shield your kid from like some aspects of real life. You're like, like you're not going to pretend that people don't smoke cigarettes sometimes or have drinks. Like I get that, but I like the idea that setting someone on fire or ripping their head off is just one of those things that happens in life, and you don't want to shield your kids from it because God knows what if they come across a situation like that one day. They'll be unprepared.
so, the giant Sega Corporation recently introduced a voluntary system to rate video games for use by a general audience, those over 13 and over 17. But
Age
there are lots
ratings.
of places where youngsters can play video games without such guidance or adult supervision. So next week, the U.S. Senate will conduct hearings on ways to supervise the video industry. Bill Greenwood, ABC News, Washington.
And thus begun my career in video game age ratings, with the ESRB being an industry-led group to avoid specifically that. I'm actually pretty open generally to government, well, not these days, in a functioning government run by people who aren't garbage. I believe in regulations. I think that there can be some good. I think in this instance, it's probably for the best that we didn't have Joe Lieberman running the age ratings agency for the United States. So, congrats. So yes, Mortal Kombat, as we learned from that father, a game about real life and just the things that happen to people on a regular basis in real life. Let's go ahead and read from Mortal Kombat. Hello, Mortal Kombat. This is a manual that I think a lot of us know from Arena Games, one of my favorite publishers. I'll tell you that much. We're going to read a little bit about Mortal Kombat, the first, with the code. I also like that they're like, well, it's got a code. It's still Mortal Kombat. You're seeing the sweat. All right. It's a good start. Okay, so the Mortal Kombat manual for the Sega Genesis begins with a comic book. The Shaolin Tournament for Martial Arts. For ages, it was a competition of honor and glory. Noble warriors from around the world were invited to take part, each seeking to win the title of Grand Champion. But that was a long time ago, before the tournament was corrupted by the evil demon Shang Tsung, a warrior who took not only the lives of his opponents, but their very souls. I like the customer service hotline right here. Just in case you have any questions about Shang Tsung, he is available to answer them for you at 516-624-9300. You got Goro down here with the aid of his pupil Goro, a hideous half-human dragon. Tsung began domination of the contest, which has lasted for centuries. Today, 500 years later, the contest begins anew as warriors once again gather to partake in Mortal Kombat. Let the tournament begin. Make sure the power switch is off. Insert your Mortal Kombat game cartridge as described into your Sega Genesis manual. All the good stuff there. Rules of the tournament. The Shaolin Tournament for Martial Arts is more than a simple exhibition. Each of its combatants has been invited for his extraordinary skills, or hers, and each in accepting has wagered his very life upon them, or hers. The tournament structure, as simple as it is ancient, tests all aspects of a warrior, for only the most worthy may earn the title of Grand Champion. It tells you a little bit more about this. It tells you about your hit meter, your timer, and the other player's hit meter. An ancient proverb declares a warrior to be his own worst enemy. That's right. The ancient proverb from the band Lit, I am my own worst enemy. Another declares his greatest ally to be knowledge of his weakness. The ancient proverb, my own worst enemy, what is that? Kick the living shit out of me. I believe that that is the ancient proverb from Lit. So there we go. These maxims are the origin of the tournament's next test, the mirror match, where each warrior must face possibly the greatest foe, a doppelganger possessing all of his looks, strength, speed, and skill. In order to defeat him, a warrior must demonstrate the one attribute that the doppelganger lacks: wisdom. Now that is actually kind of a cool in-universe explanation for like palette swapping, having the ability to just play against yourself. They actually wrote a little reason for that in here. I think that's pretty cool. Should a warrior survive the mirror match, his conditioning is then tested in 3 grueling endurance matches. The rules of these are similar to the standard matches, but upon defeating an opponent in an endurance match, a second warrior enters the fray. To win a round, both opponents must be vanquished before your warrior succumbs to injury, even once. So there's a lot of good stuff going in there. Here's your basic moves. Block is pause button, start button, excuse me. You've got high punch, low kick. But in order to do high punch, you have to do left and A. Low punch is just A. Tough times on the Sega Genesis controller. As a big fan of the 3-button Sega Genesis controller, I admit this is not ideal. Crouching moves, spinning moves. This is a really cool icon. I like this. A little flow chart. Aerial moves. Woo! There's a lot going on here. And special moves. Wisdom of the fighting. Oh no, what do we do about this? How do I spin this around? Oh goodness gracious, I wasn't expecting this. I'm just going to read it from the side. Real name, John. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. Mortal Kombat Manual PDF. And maybe if I go to Sega Retro, it won't be sideways. Oh man, it's all gonna be sideways. Oh, this is brutal. Okay, we're gonna just... I got it, don't worry. Now we're talking. Look at this, we're doing it on the fly. We'll do it live. There we go. So now we're gonna learn about a few folks, a few of our friends. We got Liu Kang, who's only 24 years old. These guys are all babies. He's 5'10", weighs 185 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. He is a citizen of the People's Republic of China. Known relatives: Li Kang, his dead dad; Lin Kang, his dead mom; Chao Kang, his unknown brother. And his birthplace was the Honan province in China. His occupation is both Shaolin monk and a fisherman. One of those is his side hustle. You've got Johnny Cage. His real name is John Carlton, which I didn't know. He's 29 years old. He's 6'1" and 200 pounds with brown hair and blue eyes. He's a citizen of the United States of America. His dad is Robert Carlton. His mom is Rose Carlton. Rebecca Carlton is his sister, and he is divorced from Cindy Ford, his wife. He lives in Venice, California, and he is, of course, an actor. And then there's another page here, which I'll have to flip around again. Here's Liu Kang. Once a member of the super secret White Lotus Society, Liu Kang left the organization in order to represent all Shaolin temples at the tournament. Through his entire life, he has heard stories and rumors about Shang Tsung's martial arts tournament. He is well aware of the evil behind it and has entered the tournament expressly to defeat Shang Tsung and return the tournament to its noble origins. A martial arts superstar, this is Johnny Cage. Trained by great masters around the world, Cage uses his talents on the big screen. He's currently box office champ, starring in such movies as Dragon Fist and Dragon Fist 2, as well as the award-winning Sudden Violence. He entered the tournament purely for the publicity it would generate for him around the world. Despite his seeming shallowness, he is a formidable foe with limber limbs. Quick reflexes, and his patented shadow kick. The limber limbs of Johnny Cage. Then we've got Sonya Blade, who's 26, 5'10", 140 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes, United States citizen. Major Herman Blade is her dad. Erica Blade is her mom. Daniel Blade is her dead brother. Sorry about that. She's from Austin. And she's a paramilitary force member, among other things. We've got Kano as well, who's 35. He's an old man, 6 feet tall, 205 pounds, black hair, one brown eye and one infrared eye built into metal implants. He was deported from Japan, wanted criminal in 35 countries. Goodness gracious. He has no relatives. He was orphaned as a small child by an American woman in Tokyo. I thought he was Australian. He's like Australian in all the movies, isn't he? He's a criminal member of the Black Dragon organization. Let's find out a little bit more about Sonya. Sonya is a member of a top special forces unit. Can't speak. Her team was hot on the trail of Kano's Black Dragon. Her unit followed Kano onto an uncharted island, but they were ambushed by Shang Tsung's personal army. Tsung forced Sonya into the tournament by holding comrades hostage. Now, not only does her own life rest on her performance, but those of her companions as well. And then Kano. A mercenary, thug, extortionist thief, Kano lives a life of crime and injustice. He's a devoted member of the Black Dragon, a dangerous group of cutthroat madmen feared and respected throughout all of Crime's inner circles. Believing Tsung's palace to be made of gold, Kano has entered the tournament in order to gain access and loot the palace. Well, that sounds kind of cool. Good for him. Why not, right? Honestly. Let's see here. We got some blue sky. What's happening right now? Blue sky's blowing up on my phone. Raiden's age is eternal. He's 7 feet tall and weighs 350 pounds. I didn't get that from playing the game. He's got black hair and none eyes. None beef, or none cheese. Legal status, mystic does not apply. Yeah, it's good. No known relatives, and his occupation is just being a warrior. Congratulations. He is a center, in fact, for the Warriors. Sub-Zero, a real name unknown. He's 32 years old, 6'2", 210, black hair, brown eyes, no legal status, although he does reside somewhere in China. No relatives, unknown birthplace. Lifelong member of the Lin Kuei, a rare clan of Chinese ninja-type assassins. Raiden, the name Raiden is actually that of a mystical warrior who lives among the thunderclouds. It is rumored that he received a personal invitation from Shang Tsung himself and took the form of a human to compete in this tournament. His elemental powers make him a dangerous foe from both the land and the air. And then we got Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero. In the game, it's cool when you choose Sub-Zero because it's the only character where the announcer seems to change his accent. He's like, Raiden, Kano, Sub-Zero. So Sub-Zero, the actual name and origin of this warrior is unknown. However, based on his uniform, it is believed he belongs to the Lin Kuei, a legendary clan of Chinese ninjas functioning as an assassin. As his name implies, he has mastered the element of cold. His deep freeze leaves an opponent at his mercy, a dangerous situation, for Sub-Zero possesses none. And then, 2 more folks here. Got our good friend Scorpion, who is a real name unknown. He's 32 as well. A young guy. These are all young guys. He's 210 pounds, black, his eyes vary. Scorpion is a reincarnated specter and has no legal status. I don't think he's 32. I think he was lying on the waiver form when he joined. He looks older, yeah. In Flashback 64, this art is pretty cool. It is true. I think it's pretty neat. He has a wife and child in a former life. Yes, that's right, tragically. Birthplace in a former life, unknown, as Scorpion, also unknown. Occupation in former life, unknown, as Scorpion, revenge. His occupation, revenge. And who can blame him? Goro is 2,000 years old. He's 8'2" and weighs 550 pounds. As you get really old, as you sort of like wind up kind of coming to the end of your natural life, a lot of times people lose weight. They get shorter. And at 2,000 years old, Goro is holding steady at 8'2" and 550 pounds. So he's drinking his Ensure. I'll say that much. He's got black hair and red eyes. Legal status, Earth Nun, Outworld, Prince of Kwatan. His dad is King Gorbak. His mom is Queen Mai, and Goro also has 7 wives. Sure, congrats, I guess. He's from Utah. Kwatan, the 4th astral plane of Shokan, realm of the Outworld, is where he was born, and his occupation is Prince of Kwatan, ruler supreme of Shokan's armies. And then we'll learn a little bit about them. Like Sub-Zero. Scorpion's true name and origin are not known. It is believed, however, that he is a fallen ninja granted the opportunity to avenge his death at the hands of the Lin Kuei. He has been given a new body and uniform which mocks the Lin Kuei's with its cowardly yellow color. And in a 2,000-year-old half-human dragon, Goro remains undefeated for the past 500 years. So it means like when he was like 1,500 years old, he lost. He won the title of Grand Champion by defeating Kung Lao, a Shaolin fighting monk. It was during this period that the tournament fell into Shang Tsung's hands and was corrupted. Goro possesses both massive strength and great agility. None who have fought him have reported any weaknesses. In fact, none who have opposed him have survived. Bum, 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 bum. Notes, write some notes. Everybody, quick, write some notes. And that's the manual. Please feel free to fill out your Arena cartridge warranty registration card. You can get a free copy of the Masters of the Game magazine with information and tips on hot new titles and products. Who plays this game? Male, female, age? Who plays this game the most? I like this. Why was the game purchased for players? Self-purchase, requested gift, unrequested gift. I hate receiving an unrequested gift from Arena Games. It's actually a pretty good surprise. How often do you play coin-op arcade games? Never, sometimes, frequently. Not often enough. That's my answer. So there you go. You can also buy Spider-Man and X-Men, Arcade's Revenge. But why would you when you have Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis? So, in the interest of time, because we got 2 more manuals to go through. How's everybody doing? I'm going to take a sip of water again. Flashback 64, thanks for popping in chat, and I appreciate it. I'm genuinely so excited for Legacy Collection tonight. I won't have time to play it tomorrow because we have to get things ready for Halloween, and then on Halloween I am responsible for trick-or-treating, so I won't be able to really play it then either, but I am hoping Saturday. What I love to do with the Digital Eclipse games is there's a sort of like pace at which they move. You know, you go through the information, the documentary footage, and then you play some of the games, and there's nothing better to me than like booting one of those up, sitting back on the couch with a glass of wine or maybe a whiskey or something, and just letting it kind of wash over you. They are master storytellers for games, and again, they care so much, and it just comes through in every little thing. They really care about this stuff. Good folks too. So there's that. Speaking of good folks, let's follow Sub-Zero through a little bit of Mortal Kombat Mythologies gameplay as I take a brief moment of rest from reading and gear up to read Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. But let's start. The unauthorized reproduction of any or all part of this product and the unauthorized use of registered trademarks or no, can't do it. Mortal Kombat Mythologies 1997 Midway Games. I was 14 years old. Flashback 64. This is a good one for the show. We love Mortal Kombat Mythologies. Ooh, excuse me. Midway. We love Midway. If you were an N64 player, you loved Midway. There was no other choice. Yeah, we're not going to read this right now. We're just going to go to the game. So this is the N64 version. It's kind of quiet. Oh, that is a real N64 menu UI. Okay, so honestly, I know that this game isn't beloved necessarily. I think they could do something real cool with it. Like a remake would be pretty neat. I bet you could do something real cool with this concept. Huh, Sub-Zero's here. Oh, gross. Oh. That was real gross. Well, anyway, that's Mythologies. There he is. That's how I climb. That's what I look like when I'm climbing down a rope. Just all arms. Keep those legs hanging. Keep them swinging wildly, my man. This is a cool scene. Well, that's Mythologies with Sub-Zero. Hey, Miv Chan is in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. I was talking earlier on the chat about how great it was to have you on, and that was very, very cool. So thank you for joining. Tobias and I shared a Class T, the Class at. Oh, okay. Is that AAOZ? What does AA of Z stand for? I'm done. AA of A. I can't think today. But Maeve Chan is in the chat. It is so good to see you. Thank you so much. And I guess you shared a class with Tobias, the Tobias from Midway and Mortal Kombat. That's pretty darn cool. American Academy of Art. There we go. Thank you so much. How cool. That's really neat. Did you get to hang, like, did you know him at the time? Like, did you get to, you don't have to answer that, I guess, if you don't want to. I'd be very curious if you, like, wound up kind of hanging out or if you wound up actually knowing each other. That's really cool. So we got Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. But yeah, thank you again. Again, if anybody's watching who wasn't here at the very beginning, please do go and check out last week's episode with Lorraine McLeese. It was the coolest thing. It was so fun. I'm still buzzing about that episode. Here you go, Mortal Kombat. If you are mad at the game for any reason, please feel free to politely let customer support know at 903-874-5092. They will be available from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. Nobody knows what that actually is from a time standpoint. We only accept Pacific Time here on the show. Presumably that's during the day. I don't know. Okay, so we've got how to use your Nintendo 64 controller. Very cool. They are in the full-on leaning into replacing K's with C's or C's with K's controller configuration. Very cool. This manual does have some stuff in there. We got there we go. We got this cool guy. We love him. I really enjoy this because all of these are just like cool photos of dudes. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Raiden. He looks pretty self-satisfied. I think he looks sort of like a guy who's just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. He's very excited about Polar Blast and Ice Clone. Got Herbal Boosters, Urn of Vitality. You know, we don't need this too much. The Shield of Invincibility, the Map of Elements, Shinnok's Amulet, Key Elements. We've got Sub-Zero over here. Appears to be retaining a lot of water. So, I'm not sure what's going on there, bud, but maybe cut back just a bit on some of the supplements. But we got that. Key Elements, the Shin, the Bridge of Immortality. We're here for the story stuff. Oh, God, it's not going to load. There we go. The quest, mythologies. And here we go. Mythology. Noun, plural, mythologies, abbreviated myth. A body or collection of myths belonging to a people and addressing their origin, history, deities, ancestors, and heroes. To be a story or fable relating to gods and or supernatural elements. Shao Kahn wasn't the first to attack our realm. Thousands of years ago, Shinnok existed as an elder god. The elder gods are the true rulers of all realms. They watch as worlds are created and destroyed and govern the realms with untold eons of wisdom. Shinnok, however, gave in to greed and illusions of false power by the new realm of Earth. If he could have that realm to himself, he would have power unmatched. He first would have to face the young god of thunder, love the young god of thunder known as Raiden, who was appointed as Earth's guardian by the elder gods themselves. Their battle for the realm of Earth was fierce, causing the planet's near destruction and plunging it into centuries of darkness. Raiden soon discovered that Shinnok entered the realm through the powers of a mystical amulet. It allowed Shinnok to enter the realm without challenge and to keep the other elder gods from intervening. The amulet could only be created once, and Raiden stripped it from Shinnok's possession. Drink every time they say Shinnok. With the aid of the elder gods, he banished the fallen god into a place known as Netherrealm. Raiden buried the amulet deep within the mountains of Asia. He then created a massive temple within the mountain to house the amulets and appointed 4 guardians as the protectors of Shinnok's sacred amulet. Each guardian represents one of the 4 elements that make up the realm: wind, earth, water, and fire. As long as the amulet remained on Earth, Shinnok would be trapped, forced to remain dormant for the rest of eternity. I'll tell you what, I saw a movie last night. I was up too late. I would like to remain dormant for the rest of eternity. I'm so tired. Mythologies. Over the millennia, here's the god of wind. He's sort of like flying. Over the millennia, the Netherrealm has had many rulers. Most of them were forged within its fiery pits, eventually ripping their masters mercilessly from their thrones. One, however, came not from the bowels of Netherrealm, but from the heavens of reality. He was the fallen elder god known as Shinnok. He's got to Shinnok it off if he wants to stay safe. Upon entering the realm, Shinnok found himself immediately under attack by then ruler Lucifer. He would exist tortured and tormented by the dregs of hell for thousands of years until he met Quan Chi. He has to hang out with the young Republicans getting tortured by the dregs of hell. Quan Chi is a free-roaming sorcerer. That means he can travel the various planes of reality without detection from their gods. It means his eggs are also a little bit more expensive. It also means that over the years he has obtained great power. Aware of Shinnok's dilemma, Quan Chi traveled to the Netherrealm and has made the fallen god an offer. He will free him from his confines and assist him in defeating Lucifer and his minions in exchange for power and the ability to rule at his side if and when he escapes the Netherrealm entirely. Shinnok, this isn't even alcoholic, I'm going to get sick doing this. Shinnok agreed and the two waged a war in the Netherrealm that lasted for centuries. But the ex-elder god eventually won as he viciously slew his former master, then took his seat as the new ruler supreme of the Dead Realm. Shinnok, however, had nothing to rule. The realm was a desolate wasteland of fire and brimstone inhabited by grotesque demons, Washington, D.C., so he decided to create a physical world, trying his best to emulate the realm he wanted so badly. Earth. Here's the god of water. Are we going to do one for each of these? Jesus Christ. This is long. Oh, no. Couldn't? There we go. Okay. Well, there's a lot of reading. I'll pick up the pace. How about that, folks? I'll pick up the pace. He took the demons of his realm and transformed them into as human a form as possible. But unlike the Outworld, which became a wasteland after Shao Kahn sapped its energies, the Netherrealm never was a living planet. It always will exist as a dead world, its true form hidden by its ruler. It was through the Mortal Kombat tournament that the Outworld's soul-stealing sorcerer Shang Tsung discovered the location of the sacred map of elements. After Goro, the reigning Outworld champion, defeated the original Kung Lao over 400 years ago, Shang Tsung sapped the human soul. He retained his thoughts and memories, thus discovering the secrets of the sacred map, which has been hidden within the Shaolin temples for centuries. These events enabled Shang Tsung to strike a bargain with Quan Chi. In exchange for Shinnok's assistance in a plot to reincarnate the Outworld Emperor Shao Kahn's dead queen, Shang Tsung would reveal to Quan Chi the location of the map that would lead to Shinnok's, I forgot to sip earlier, sacred amulet. But Shang Tsung failed to inform Quan Chi of the elemental guards that protect the amulet. Their mere existence makes it impossible for Quan Chi to enter the temple where the amulet rests. But if he could get a human to enter, the right human, one who could perhaps defeat the elements. And then we'll talk about somebody else. Sub-Zero and the Lin Kuei. Somewhere in the northernmost parts of Asia, there exists a secret clan of assassins and thieves known as the Lin Kuei. This group has existed for centuries and thrives on the evil intentions of the people who pay for their services. Its warriors are chosen at birth to be raised apart from the workings of day-to-day civilization and are stripped of their former lives. Only the clan knows of their existence. Each of them possesses certain skills and abilities that set them apart from normal men. These abilities are passed on from generation to generation and honed throughout the experiences of life. Sub-Zero learned of his ability as a young adult. It was passed on to him by his father, a fourth-generation Lin Kuei warrior himself. Like father, like son. Among the first missions for the Lin Kuei is one that leads him to the Shaolin temples to steal the sacred map of elements. Then we got Scorpion, the ninja. There's so much more in this manual than I thought there would be. I could have done a whole episode on just this. Spread throughout Japan, the ninja exists as the Lin Kuei's Japanese counterpart. It is believed that a renegade Japanese-born Lin Kuei warrior named Takeda developed the art of ninjutsu hundreds of years ago. He returned to Japan to offer his services and knowledge to various lords and generals during that country's feudal period. Many of his skills and techniques were soon copied and learned throughout his homeland. I don't think that's historically accurate. The ninja has never existed as one collected clan. They work as loosely connected spy network, made up of several small clans. One such clan is known as the Shirai Ryu. Happy birthday, Ryu. Their founder was Takeda himself, making the Shirai Ryu the very first ninja clan. This also made them instant foes of the Lin Kuei and made Takeda a target for assassination. But he managed to elude his attackers until his elder years when he died not from a vicious battle, but in his sleep. A victim of poison slipped into his tea. Scorpion is the code name for a modern-day member of the Shirai Ryu named Hanzo Hasashi. His latest mission leads him into the heart of China, home of the rival Lin Kuei, and location of the Shaolin Temple, where his mission is to steal the sacred map of elements. Create your own mythologies. So that's the story. This is a deep game. Yeah, that's right. Flashback 64 is right. This is a deep game. And you can even create your own mythologies right here. Anything you want, honestly. Sub-Zero could go battle the border control. Sub-Zero could go to the store. He can do almost anything in this. Here he is. It looks like he's fighting maybe with a Baraka in the background. We got some credits with a K. Midway Home Entertainment. Of course, Mortal Kombat was created by Ed Boon and John Tobias. And Lori and I would love to at some point hear those stories. It'd be very cool to learn a little about it. Graphics, Josh Sui, who's actually on Blue Sky, I believe. We got Eugene Gear, Carlos Pacina, interesting, and Richard Hogue. Daniel Pacina, I don't know if it's the same one. Daniel Pacina played a bunch of the guys in the original Mortal Kombat. He was like the body, the model for at least like Johnny Cage and stuff, right? So Carlos Pacina, I guess, did this. That's kind of cool. Music and sound effects, Dan Forden. Associate producer, Michael Gottlieb. Great arcade name. Let's see if there's any print design and production. Thank you so much. That's probably this. Deborah Austin, John Mongaluzzo, Sean Murphy, Aaron Shems, Robert Shefford, and Dave Young, if anybody is watching, of course. Thank you to you for doing this. You got the test manager was Robert Sablin. Test lead is Kevin Elrod. And the testers are Mike Artemis, Mike Benavides, Dante Nipple, Eric Narvez, excuse me about that, Devin Shatsky, Ed Tucker, Dan Windrum, Kevin Wong, Mike Vinicor, and Eddie Ferrier. So special thanks to some other cool folks here and viewers like you, the person playing this game. We got Avalanche Software, programming John Blackburn, Jim Henn, Gary Panaccio, Todd Blackburn, and Bob Lowe. Here's your warranty, and here's, what's his name? Quan Chi. Hello, Quan Chi. Thank you for coming today. So that's that one. I'm exhausted. We have one more manual because I didn't pace myself today. I got too excited about the launch of Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection from Digital Eclipse and Atari coming out tomorrow. We're going to watch a little Special Forces, and then we're going to read a little Special Forces. This is a game that I have not played, so I do not know anything about it other than some gameplay videos that I have seen, and I'm very excited to be playing it because I believe that it is, in fact, in the collection. All of these games, by the way, today are in the collection, so if you want to play original Mortal Kombat, I believe the Genesis version for sure is in there, I think. My Mortal Kombat 3, I believe that I was reading earlier, should be in there as well. You also do get Mythologies, Sub-Zero, and Special Forces, among other things, including handheld versions of the games, which I'm very excited about as well. So there we go. Let's read just a bit, or well, let's watch just a bit of Special Forces. God, I love that PlayStation opening. All right, let's see. Okay. I think we can just go to gameplay, right? Okay. This is a real place. Okay. Okay, honestly, this looks kind of cool. Another game they should remake. Though this camera angle does leave something to be desired. Okay, we'll go ahead and skip to some more gameplay. Mortal Kombat Special Forces. Jax runs around in total silence. Okay. Well, access computer. There we go. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. So that's Mortal Kombat Special Forces. Let's read a little bit about it. So there you go. Here you go. Mortal Kombat Special Forces by Midway for the Sony PlayStation. Rated M for mature by the ESRB, a game with a rating logo on it from the industry-led association that was built to defend against Senator Joseph Lieberman as he got mad about Mortal Kombat. Actually, we had that way back when. Got an M on this, Mortal Kombat 3. It's exciting stuff. If you're playing an M game, that means that you're a real grown-up. That's mature. That means that you are a mature person, and that makes you inherently cooler. So think that's the takeaway from being a video gamer forever. Being a gamer. We're not gamers. Gamer is a derogatory word. Okay, so here's the controller. Very cool stuff. I do like all this green on screen. You know, one thing I'm realizing is I don't know much about color blindness or anything like that. If anybody does have things like color blindness, I would love to know if when I'm sharing manuals, if anything is hard to see, harder than like you would expect it to be. Like, obviously it's going to be a little bit hard because it's a small screen, but like in terms of like, if it's literally impossible to see or really hard because of color blindness, I'd love to find out. I don't know anything about it, and I don't want anybody to be like, being blocked out by it. So let me know. The story, one of the earliest stories that established the Mortal Kombat universe was the relationship between Jax and Kano. That's not in my experience. I'll tell you that much. I like that the story here is going to be the story about the story. This is the story of Everest. Daylight savings. Hello, Darren Hupke. How are you doing? Has it changed? Has daylight savings changed in parts of the country? Our daylight savings is this next Sunday. So our daylight savings time changes soon. I cannot wait. I can't wait. I'm ready for it to be dark at like 5. I don't like this, like, don't make me have the sun up when I just want to relax. So there we go. So we've got the story. One of the earliest stories, this is like Adam and Eve, that it was like, that's the first story was Adam and Eve. The second story was the relationship between Jax and Kano. Jax, a special forces agent, was hot on the trail of career criminal Kano when he was led into the Mortal Kombat tournament. Kano represented the criminal underworld. He had been drafted, and Mortal Kombat was a supernatural event that caused all these things to collide. But we've only hinted at their shaded past. You haven't actually said much. That's true. What events caused Jax to despise Kano so much? How did Kano himself come to be involved with Shang Tsung? Why is Jax so bent on stopping Kano's gang? Is it the Black Dragon? There's a story to be told here. Okay. There's a story to be told here, and one that will allow new elements of gameplay, while remaining true to the myths that make up the Mortal Kombat universe. I'm thinking that when they went to print, they accidentally put their pitch deck in for the story section, but I'll take it. Gearing up. There's a story to be told here is very funny to me. Like during the story section, there's a story to be told here. Somebody will figure it out. Gearing up. Following power up. Press start to see Jax's head over here. And apparently this game was going to have Sonya in it too before it got pared down. I think there's a Sean Johnson video where he talks about this game. I believe it was the Sean Johnson video where he talks about special forces. If you are just a person looking for something cool to watch sometimes, I cannot recommend enough the Sean Johnson videos on YouTube. They are fantastic and extremely well researched and in depth. He had one come out just the other day. They're all PlayStation. Every PlayStation Taito game. He has one that's 6 hours long. It's every Capcom game on PlayStation. Fantastic. So I strongly recommend watching his videos. Like and subscribe, we say, as we say in the biz. You got the chase. You got more of the chase. You got inventory. Of course you do. You got using your guns. If you have a gun in your inventory, press L2 to draw the weapon. Very cool. Excellent stuff. Thank you so much. We got Jax's story. There is a story to be told here, as we know. And let's read a little bit about it. I'm going to zoom in because this is tiny. Jax has a new mission. It's a mission he's always wanted to undertake, and the disdain for his nemesis Kano is much too great to ignore any longer. Kano represents the criminal underworld, yep, and Mortal Kombat was a supernatural event that caused the chasm between these two powerful rivals. Not exactly the same sentence, but close. Jax will be forced into hand-to-hand combat, as well as vicious gun battles as he hunts down Kano. Join Jax in his search for Kano, destroying his henchmen along the way. Get ready, another battle has just begun. There's a chaos to this manual that I'm appreciating and enjoying. The enemies. Here are some of the tougher enemies that you'll face in Mortal Kombat Special Forces. You got No Face. Due to his vast knowledge of explosives and incendiary devices, be prepared for an explosive battle. You got Tasia. Beware of this ninja master. She's as deadly as she is beautiful. You got Tremor. He's the guardian of the gateway. His powerful style, he's got like Zubaz pants. His powerful style, coupled with his blind loyalty to Kano, make him a deadly adversary. You got Jarek, one of Kano's most trusted allies. Jarek is quick, mean, and full of surprises. And then Kano. Yes, Jax's longtime nemesis is a ready and capable opponent. Kano will use any means necessary to dispatch Jax, his hated rival. Yes, Jax's longtime nemesis. Yes. Very exciting. That's Jarek. MK4's Jarek. So there you go. Here we are. Keys, metapacks. Throughout the game, many items will be available to strengthen your health, add to your arsenal, or give you access to doors and other areas. Free lives, grab as many as you can. You'll need them. Don't pass on one of these metapacks. Keep your health up so you can stare down the fists and guns of your opponents. Weapons, look for machine guns, rocket launchers, grenade launchers, and sniper rifles. They all provide a different defense against your enemies. It's not defense. Ammo, your gun has no purpose if you don't keep up your inventory of ammo. Grab it whenever you can. And keys, there are many doors you cannot enter unless you have a key. If you try to enter a restricted door, you will be prompted to get a specific key. As you play Mortal Kombat Special Forces, you might get a little stumped once in a while. Check out these hints and tips. Maybe they'll lend an answer to your dilemma and help you move on to the mission. Good luck. Always check your messages. Watch the upper right portion of the screen. You'll see if an enemy is nearby. When using the sniper rifle, don't wait until your enemy gets close. Press L1, zoom in, take aim, and shoot from a distance. One body shot with a sniper rifle disarms enemies. Make sure you bump your health up whenever you're low. Try moving large objects. That's good. Got some good crate pushing. Observe boss patterns and look for weakness before attacking. Conserve all ammo and health pack items. Don't use them, just conserve them. Hoard them, if you will. And that was a quick manual, but I thought that was kind of cool. Midway Games, Mortal Kombat co-created by Ed Boon now. We don't get John Tobias in here anymore. Project leader was John Walsh. Software was John Walsh, Jonathan Murphy, Daniel Markham, and Ken Lamb. Lead artist Richard Ho. Graphics, Richard Ho, Carlos Pesina, Herman Sanchez, and David Bennett. Additional art by Tim Moran. I'm sorry. Genuinely sorry. Moran. Pronunciation. Nikola Trifunovic, Cheyenne Copper, and Matt Davis. Music and sound was by Dan Forden. Cover design, Herman Sanchez and Nick Ehrlich, and product analysts, Brian LeBaron and Pablo Garcia. Midway Home Entertainment, let's see here. Daryl DePriest, testing manager Hans Lowe, testing supervisor Steve Kramer, lead product analyst Weston Boucher, product analyst, print design and production, Midway Creative Services, San Diego. Thank you so much. This is us standing here right now that we've made it through all three manuals in a record 1 hour. Darren Hupke says this game played like a poor man's Tomb Raider and Fighting Force. Yeah, that seems about right. I remember when this came out and I saw it at a Toys R Us and I was like, this looks awesome. I would love to play this. And I don't believe that I ever even got to rent it. So I've never played it. So I hope one day. In fact, that day might be this weekend. Maybe I'll start with Mortal Kombat. No, I won't start with it. Whenever I play one of the Digital Eclipse collections, I go through the timeline. I always go through the timeline. I want to see things build. So I will probably be coming to this one last. Save the best for last, they always say. And that's what I'll be doing with Mortal Kombat Special Forces for the PlayStation. And that is the show for today. Remember, yes, Darren Hupke's right. I cannot wait for the collection. Thank you, by the way, for coming, Darren Hupke. Thank you to Flashback64. Thank you, Maeve Chen, for joining in the chat as well. Please do go look if you haven't seen it. Last week's stream with Lorraine McLeese, which was fantastic. And please do, if you are able to, again, donate to really any charity that you trust that deals with food and hunger. Right now, SNAP benefits running out, so you can find your local food bank at the URL at the very bottom, feedingamerica.org. Find your local food bank, or you can also donate to the World Central Kitchen, which again does amazing work in, among other places, Gaza and right now Jamaica. It is so critical that folks can eat. We have fun, doing this stuff, but this is really important stuff. So please do if you are able to. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one. Go pick up Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection from Digital Eclipse. Your friends at Digital Eclipse. Again, this is not an official partnership. I just think that they do cool stuff. So thank you. Go check it out. Have a great afternoon. Thank you so much, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Spindrift Wednesday, the official day of Spindrift. Spindrift, the official drink of Wednesday. That's what I'm going for. Okay, goodbye.